So what did the cranberry say when it met the apple? I'm not going to answer that. You have to. Oh. Go to Slido. The question should be up there. Sorry. I couldn't resist.
I love it.
So I want to add to Chad's disclaimer that we couldn't be everywhere all the time, and say that in talking about theoretical frameworks in STEM plus C work, our talks were short, so we didn't spend much time talking about them, and our one-page descriptions were short, so we didn't include much information there also. So, but with that disclaimer, I wanted to observe that across the projects, the integration of computational tools and engaging STEM topics is providing rich opportunities. Is our children learning? Sorry about the typo. It was late, right. There are a wide range of theoretical frameworks being deployed. And it's interesting how, for example, place-based learning, constructionism, participatory pedagogy, and it's interesting to observe what theoretical frameworks have been chosen to shape what kinds of research, and their strengths and challenges associated with each. I think that Chad's point about accounting for relevant trade-offs when we make those choices has emerged for me from this meeting. For example, a strength of participatory pedagogy supports student agency and engagement, and a reliance on distributed expertise. But at the same time, a classroom that supports that is more challenging for a teacher to manage sometimes, and requires more of the teacher as a guide on the side. So those are trade-offs that are made. I've already talked about that. The affordances, in particular, place-based learning, cries out for data collection activities, which have obvious implications for data collection and modeling. And that, in turn, suggests a specified range of tools, computational tools and other tools. So this raised a bunch of questions for me, including what is the impact of these choices? How do our theoretical frameworks shape the intervention, and what are the impact of these choices on our design? And how do we theorize about the connection between the activities, the desired learning goals, and what counts as data as we examine learning and the other constructs that we measure? And then, in the context of the chosen tools, it's a challenge to identify what CT practices are relevant and appropriate in that context. And I see these questions emerging throughout the community. So I was struck by projects that described a close alignment of their research questions, intended learning goals, and the ways in which they measured outcomes. Couple of these I'll just call out. One was the integrating AI ethics into robotics, which is a newly funded project, but there was a very nice description, it's on page 86, a description of the alignment of their design conjectures and desired outcomes, and then that specified the activity design and the theorized mediating processes that they were going to look at. Another project was Remaking STEM on page 42. That project specified the components of the design model shaped by their theoretical framework. And in particular, what struck me was that they were open to emergent findings related to their hypotheses about what mediates teacher learning and what mediates student learning. So I think, actually, that close alignment of our TF's research questions, learning goals, and outcomes increases our capacity, and I see that across projects, to hypothesize ways in which the intervention is going to work, and design learning activities and learning environments that better support the learning goals And my last slide should have said, most importantly, advanced theory with regard to what mediates learning. I think, opens us to, or puts us in a position to be more open to emergent findings and surprises, and, as Chad said, to account for the relevant trade-offs in our designs. When we think about what works, what doesn't work, are our theories about how this activity is actually going to inform learning are on target, or can we contribute to theory building? I think that's all. Thank you.